On today's episode of Talk Legal to Me, we have my lifestyle coach, Dylan Hornof with Optimize. She's talking all things nutrition, fitness, mindset as we're approaching the new year. I think you'll really enjoy this episode. Hi, Dylan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome to Talk Legal to Me. Thank you so much for being here. You are my lifestyle coach.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we're 2 months in.
Yep. It's pretty new, but honestly, you're doing so good, Gordi. And I already said this before we started recording, but you're doing a great job.
Awesome. Well, you're a great coach.
Thank
you.
you.
Let's talk about what you do as a coach and what it entails and how you started your business, Optimize. Yep. Tell me how you got into the fitness industry.
Honestly, it goes way back to high school for me, so many, many years ago. And I was going to the gym and got into nutrition because I was just a girl that got her heart broken, and I just kind of went to the gym. What's weird about my journey is no one in my family is really into fitness. Okay. So I just kind of jumped into it, and I never looked back. I'd done several diets, so that's why I'm super passionate about metabolism health, holistic health, because I was obsessed with dieting. But no, honestly, it started forever ago.
Awesome. Talk to me about what your obsession with dieting was and what you teach clients like me now.
Yeah, so I've done over 15 diets. Okay. And when I say that, people are like, what? No way. There's thousands of fad diets, but I've done a bunch. I mean, I've done no carb, low carb. I've done the shakes, the teas. And ultimately what happened was I got to a point in my journey where I was eating 900 calories a day, and I could not lose weight because my metabolism was so downregulated that nothing was working. I was doing hours of cardio, obviously super low food, and I just started to study reverse dieting and metabolism health because I was told that I have to get myself out of a deficit or I'm just going to gain weight even, with everything that I was doing.
Sure.
After doing all the diets, I took it upon myself to learn about internal health, and that honestly saved me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know when we first met, I kind of came to you because my journey was similar. So it was the intermittent fasting, doing that for years. And then you're like, well, that's not really healthy and that's not good. It's not good for your metabolism. It's not good for your hormones as a woman. And so we did something that was called reverse dieting. Yes. Talk about reverse dieting because it was scary.
I know. It's so scary for your first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're ultimately eating more food. So you are doing the opposite of a diet, which most women are taught to eat less and move more, which a calorie deficit is science, that's the truth. But at the end of the day, with downregulating your metabolism, if you're under eating, if you're doing intermittent fasting, not eating enough throughout your day, everything starts to slow down. Now, metabolism, you cannot break your metabolism. A lot of people will promote it's broken, but that's a lie. But it does start to meet you where you're at because our body is very smart. So our body will just, click into what you've been doing for all these years. So with intermittent fasting, that's a great example. A lot of women will, not eat in the morning, not eat at night. But I remember I shared this with you too. There was, been multiple studies on intermittent fasting, but none on women. So it's actually very poor for women's hormone health.
Right.
It's not good for us to wake up and not eat. It's, we need more fat in our diet because of our hormones. So with, again, studying these things, reverse dieting is something that you pull yourself out of a deficit. Obviously, you'd go strategically, nice and slow. You work your way up. Right. And then when you get to that optimal level where you're close to maintenance, you can then go into a proper calorie deficit. So what's super cool is when you do pull yourself out, now when you go into a deficit, it's going to essentially tell your body, hey, I know we're eating more food, but when we're on the way down, we're now in a proper deficit. So you lose fat on a higher caloric intake, which is super cool. If you work your way up and then you hop down, you're now able to eat a bunch of food and lose fat. And it's life-changing because also, as we always talk about, recomposition comes with that, which is, a lot of women are like, well, Dylan, I want to be fit and lean and toned. And I'm like, okay, but if you just do a deficit, you're going to lose your muscle and you're just, obviously you'll lose scale weight, but your goal, with fitness and being fit, if it's to look lean, you need to make sure you're preserving your muscle mass.
Sure.
So a lot of women are scared to eat more, but it's if you want to look lean and fit, you need to preserve lean muscle and build lean muscle to give yourself that fit look. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it's like what we get bombarded with information on like diet culture and like fitness is very like contradictory to that. And so when you say it this way and you explain it this way, it just makes a lot of sense. And I feel like I noticed that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm eating bread and rice. Like I haven't ate this for like years, you know, unless I would classify it as like a cheat meal. But and with that, you get more energy and all of these things. So
all the things, that's like what truly feels so good about like learning the lifestyle, teaching the lifestyle to women. It's like we are told to be like scared of carbs or not to eat certain things. And, you know, when you do put your internal health first, your metabolism, your gut health, inflammation in the body, it really just all clicks and you start to learn more. And I know you've experienced that. Like eating more food, more energy, like you said, it's like, wow, like I didn't even realize that I was so low energy and just like brain fog. Like there's so much like positive that comes with eating more.
Sure, I know. And I would like go to the gym and I would obviously not eat anything. I would just like have my coffee. I like lived on my coffee. And I remember Josh, your boyfriend, he also is in fitness. He's like, you're like on a stockbroker diet. He's like, you're literally like high cortisol, lots of coffee, go, run hard. So like about 2 p.m. Then maybe you'll eat something, crash. Like he's like, you're just like doing that. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. You're right. You're right.
A lot of women too. And obviously like stress, women don't hold stress well, like when it comes to the physical side of the body. And, you know, if you are doing that, you're putting your body in that stress. So like eating more and like really understanding nutrition, I think that was a big thing for me too when I went from extreme diets to now learning about it. I feel like a lot of women, we do diets, but we don't even know why. We're like, oh, our friend Stephanie did it and she lost weight. But it's like, but why, you know, why is she doing that? Why is she doing low carb? You know, we never look into it. It's like, oh, well, she just did this, so I'm going to do it. And I think education is such a beautiful thing when it comes to these things. And I always say it's like learning a new skill, like anything, or getting a new job. Like it's going to take a second to learn it, but once you get it, you're good at it and you understand it.
Yes, so. That's very, very true. I love on your social, you have an awesome social media page and you have a huge following and great videos that you post. And something you just mentioned, like the body recomposition, you like post a video of yourself at like 140 and then an after at 140 and it's like totally different.
Completely different.
Talk about that and like how people are so focused like on the number.
I think women in general always have that like number in mind. I know even when we first talked, you're like, I want to be at this number. I look best at this scale number. And I was that way too. I always thought 125 in my head. I'm like, I'm going to be 125. If I was 125, no, like that does not fit my body frame. Like I would not look healthy. And now I'm 140, but I look completely different from when I started my journey. And again, what I think a lot of women fail to recognize is a lot of women want to lose body fat percentage, but they think they want to lose scale weight. So it is that mindset switch of saying, hey, I do want to be more lean. I want to lower my body fat because what happens with even my example of, 140, I look completely different because I focused on losing body fat and then gaining lean muscle. So, when I was chasing 125, I was just trying to get the scale down. And honestly, I kept running in circles and I wasn't really seeing progress. For so many years, women will be like, why am I not seeing progress? It's because they're running in a circle of trying to reach a number, but it's like, for what? You're going to look better and healthier and feel better if you just drop that obsession and just, learn. Like I said, learn about it.
Yes, it's so mental.
I know it is. It
is so mental.
For a lot of women, 100%.
I just didn't really realize that till I embarked on this journey with you. It's so mental. I never thought I had a bad relationship with food. I've like always been relatively skinny, like in my 20s and 30s. And I think I had like a lot of, stressors that came aboard, running your own business, kids, divorce, all these things. And I was like, oh, I need to address this. But it's so emotional. Like,
I know, it really is.
Needing to have that number or your relationship with food. Talk about the relationship with food that people address when working with you, because that was huge for me.
Yeah, and I love that you can recognize that too, Gordi, because you did say, I don't really think I have a bad relationship, but when you do learn about eating more food, those feelings come up because I'm like, hey, we need to eat more carbs. We need to eat fat. Like even
butter.
Yes, eat your butter, eat your raw butter and your
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like eating especially in holistic health, it's like we want to embark on a fitness journey and we think sugar-free, low calorie, low fat was a huge trend back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was a big thing. But no, with relationship with food, with eating more, it really is like stripping the idea of good versus bad. I always say more nutritious and less nutritious. And that's the cool part about the journey too, is when you are learning about what carbs do in the body, what fat do in the body, why you need them. You know, a lot of women don't understand. They just think carbs are bad because that's what you're taught. But when you learn about how, you know, energy, even like you mentioned, more energy. And again, I think with eating more food and reverse dieting, a lot of women will say, ooh, that's scary to eat more. But when you're doing it strategically and you're slowly working your way up, it is a beautiful journey to realize like, oh, wow, like my clothes are fitting better. Like I have more energy. And then you start to recognize that like it's not eating, you know, a lot of food just to eat a lot of food. There's strategy here. And so relationship with food, honestly, that's probably my favorite thing to dive into with clients because you don't even recognize how much you've been taught over the years of things being bad and like, I can't do this, I can't do that. So like peeling that off of you and just saying, no, you need to eat more. Like, let's eat more. And here's why. I think that's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah, that was so eye-opening.
I know, I bet.
Like,
you're like,
I mean,
what? It's all you've known to like undereat and like.
Oh my gosh, I was such an undereater. I had no idea. I probably was like living at 1,200 calories. And then at the same time, like binging, like, because I'm starving like at 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta like stop eating because of my fast and doing all that. And then when we did the reverse dieting, eating like 2 pieces of bread or 3 pieces of bread a day. Yeah, you're telling me to eat more.
I'm like, you're not hitting your numbers.
You're like, do a slice and a half. And I'm like,
you're like, ooh, okay.
I think I can do that. Like, but just working through that was so huge. And I mean, I guess I did have like a weird relationship with food that I just never even realized till I started this journey with you.
I think that's another thing too with even, you know, you're obviously busy and you have kids and stuff pops up. I think what's been so cool to see you work through too, Gordi, is like you can go out to eat. You know, you can live your life and still see results. And I think that's such an eye-opener for people. They think they're going to sign up for a fitness, you know, nutrition coach and they can't go out to eat. They can't eat carbs. It's like they think they have to go all in and be super motivated. But I always tell clients there's going to be really good weeks. There's going to be really bad weeks. It really is continuing to learn and show up. And I just love that you've been able to live your life and like see results. And that's a cool part too of it, like really learning it.
It is a lifestyle. And like, I know a lot of people say that, but when you're in that journey, you do learn. Like you still have conferences you have to attend to or birthday parties you have to go to. And all of these things were like popping up and you were like so instrumental in being like, you're going to Toca Madera. This is what you should probably order. And I didn't feel deprived and I felt like I could still go and I could socialize and have my like club soda because I'm doing no alcohol. And it was good and it was achievable and doable. So that's awesome.
Not restrictive. Which is great. Because I think, too, it's like you always think, like people just think, okay, fitness means restriction. I always look at it as, you know, short-term sacrifice. Because let's be real, there is some sacrifice in the journey in a sense of, you know, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. We'd all be healthy. Like there'd be, you know, no sacrifices at all. But of course, you know, you can go to Toca Madera. You can go get, you know, some tacos or whatever you want to do. But it's also recognizing, hey, like I'm going to track that and be aware of it. Or I am going to reach out to my coach and say, what should I be getting? Instead of just going into Toca saying, whatever, I'm just going to binge, right? It's more structure. It's a structure and it's like understanding that you can live your life, but still see results is the coolest part.
I love that. I love that so much. Talk about some of the biggest transformations you've seen in working with your clients.
Yes. We have one client that just hit 50 pounds down.
Wow.
Yes. Her name is Emma. And this transformation is near and dear to my heart because she entered the program when she was just going through so much in her life. There was a lot of just transformation and shifting. And, you know, she wanted to quit several times. She told me several times, I think I need to be done. I'm not sure. And just working through the mindset of, you know, it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies, but you deserve to put your health first. And that's what we kept working through. And now she's 50 pounds down, completely changed her life. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And honestly, what I love about Emma too is she now has left the program and she's been able to maintain, which I love. I always tell people, like, don't pay us forever. Like, you know, you should learn this.
Learning it and apply it to your life. That's so amazing. I love that. And I love that you're so encouraging. You're like, you'll check in with me, and you probably told this also to Emma, be selfish. You have a
Yes.
right to like put yourself first. Like
Yep.
you're not planning your meals out, like put yourself first. And I feel like maybe as women, we don't do that.
Yeah,
We
it's so
want to
true.
tend
So
to
true.
everybody else. And like
Yeah.
just having you say that,
You're
it's like,
whoa.
oh, I can do that. And I'm
Yes.
allowed to do that. And we
Yeah.
just feel usually like we can't, or we're
Yeah.
being selfish for doing so. So
Totally. Yeah, it's a huge thing. And I think too, like we have a client, Lacey, who's again almost 50 pounds down as well.
wow.
And, we work with women too that want to lose 5, 10 pounds and be super fit, but we also have women that want to lose, a decent amount of weight. And it really is so transformative seeing moms do this.
Right.
Honestly, I'd say our team is like 90% moms because of internal health, like hormones, metabolism, gut health, but it's hard for moms to put themselves first. And I'm not a mom myself, but like seeing moms do that is so incredible because it's a ripple effect. Yeah. Like now their significant other is losing weight too. And like their kids are, just being healthier. Yeah. Right?
For sure.
So that's the coolest part.
We've definitely had less crumble runs in my house since I've started this. My kids are like, well,
where's crumble?
Yeah. They're like, what are the weekly flavors? And I'm like, let's not even look.
Yeah. We can't look because then we got to go get them.
I have taken them, but I've even like made them get like the smaller ones because I'm like, they don't need that much.
Right.
It's not teaching them good habits.
That's so true.
So it is a ripple effect for sure. My poor kids who love their crumble. They're like,
no.
No, they adjust and they're fine. And like they eat their veggies and whatnot. But it does. Like it just makes it more eye-opening, and then it creates a ripple effect within like the family and whoever's in your circle. So
everything.
That's awesome.
I recognize too, like I see it in a lot of clients, like it's not only helping relationships, but it also honestly just helps even work. Like you show up more confidently when you're doing your job, or it's easier for you to have conversations with your husband or boyfriend.
How do you feel you keep clients motivated?
Yeah, I love this question because there's so many different ways. I think what makes us unique is we are very involved with the client's life and building the lifestyle. So honestly, what we do is understanding what is their driver that motivates them. Sure. But I think at the end of the day, it is the reality of just being so real about the why and having them understand that you're not always going to feel motivated. Going into the journey and letting it be very clear from the start, setting the expectation, which I know I did with you. Yep. Just saying, hey, like, I know you have these goals, but, we might have some hiccups. We might have some things we need to work through. You're not going to always want to go to the gym or get your workout in, but reminding them of their why and challenging them in their mindset when hard times pop up.
That's really, really good. And I know, like, curtailing the expectations. So, like, I had my own expectations where I was like, I need to be a certain number. Yes. How do you kind of manage that?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the client will come in with expectations in their head, especially someone like you and I who has done all the diets. Sure. You think that you're going to jump into some fitness program and instantly lose the weight. Even if I'm telling you, hey, this is a lifestyle change, right? It's going to look a little different. Our brain naturally wants to go to the quick fix. So it is just always reminding the client on the expectation of, hey, this is going to look different, and really just reminding you of why you want the lifestyle and why you shouldn't stay in that past mindset of the quick fix and, the go, go, go mindset.
Right. And I know that we're like in an era now where there is a lot of fast fixes. We have access to medications like Ozempic that people can lose weight quickly. You're essentially competing against that mindset and like those products. Yeah. How do you compete with that?
Yeah.
Successfully.
At the end of the day, it is the difference of you can do another quick fix, another fad, you could do Ozempic, but you're just putting a Band-Aid on it. And I know that's me being honest, but at the end of the day, there are reasons. I'm not completely against GLP-1, Ozempic. I know there's reasons for it, for extreme health issues, but when I hear that women are taking Ozempic when they don't need to, and they don't even know the side effects that come with that in the future. It's very unfortunate, but I think what I always lean on is my integrity and my moral values on having women truly change their lifestyle and not going for the Band-Aid or the quick fix anymore. So I think that's what makes it so different is, yes, I am competing with all these quick fixes, Beachbody, keto is still a great thing or a big thing. Carnivore is a big one. That one I can go on about. Yeah. Ozempic, all these things are my competitors, but at the end of the day, I stand so tall on, I want to change your life. I don't want to just give you a Band-Aid and another quick fix.
I love that. That's amazing.
I just see it ripple effect in like family, careers. Like I just got a text from a client last week. She just got a promotion because she's just been like glowing. She's like, I keep showing up to work and like I feel so good, like wearing my like lower size pants and like she's like, I just feel good and I feel like this promotion came from me like showing up for myself.
That's awesome.
So it's so cool to see the ripple effect.
It is. If you feel your best, then you're giving your best version of yourself to everyone, whether it's in work, whether it's your role as a parent or a significant other or whatnot. It just does like radiate everywhere.
100%.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, we're going into the holidays.
Yes.
So like, I know when I joined with you, I was like, I don't know if this is a good time right now because I have like all these birthdays for my kids or back to back. And then, you know, there's travel plans and conferences and whatnot. And then I was like, well, wait a second. Like there's never a good time to start.
There's never a good time. Yeah.
So
ever.
How are we doing the holidays?
Yes.
Talk to us about that. What should we be like looking for and trying to do?
Yeah, no, and obviously Thanksgiving just passed. So we are now stepping into, you know, Christmas, New Year, like all the stuff that pops up. And I feel like a lot of people will hold back from starting their fitness journey until January. Obviously, that's a huge trend.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to encourage people to start now. I think the biggest realization for me and what I always tell clients is, you know, Thanksgiving, the holiday season, it's probably like 5 to 10 days out of the next few months. And for some reason, our brains want to say, oh, it's just so much. I'm so busy. But if you were to count like work parties, family parties, like whatever you do for the holiday season, it's probably at most 10, maybe 12 days out of the next few months. So 12 days is not going to hold you back from your goals, especially because it is a lifestyle. And I encourage people to start as soon as you can.
Sure.
Because it really is like, yeah, there's no perfect time, but I even think holidays are a great time to do it because you can learn about how you can, you know, go to a work party and still live your life and still reach your goals. So you prove to yourself that you're able to get through busy seasons. And that's such a beautiful thing because then you're entering January, pounds down, and you're like, I got this, you know?
Yeah, you're not signing up after January 1st with everyone at the gym and like doing that all. You're ahead of it, which I love that.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be like a January 1st is when I'm going to put my health first.
Sure.
Like this is for your health. This is not a diet. So I always challenge individuals when they say I'm going to wait till January. I'm like, wait for what? Like, this is your health on the line. And I think people need to recognize it's not just dieting. It's not just working out. It's getting habits in place, routines. It's diving into relationship with food. And let's be honest, holidays will come again next year and next year.
Sure.
So you have to learn it. You have to face it.
That's right. And life happens and they continue to come in different ways. All the holidays are scattered throughout the year. So that is so empowering because it truly is a lifestyle. And then when you put your health first and you're not just like waiting for the next thing, it's like empowering. So I love that.
Yeah, I think like just recognizing that, because I remember, I'm going to just share a personal story. Like I'd get a pool invite during the summer or, oh, this party's coming up and I want to look good for it, right? And I would just go into an extreme deficit and just like chop my carbs, do tons of cardio. And I always had to do that for every event, for every pool invite, for every boat invite. I was starving myself essentially. But I always tell people, like, just be ready for life. If someone invites you to, you know, a holiday work party and you're going to see people you haven't seen in a while, how great would it be to say, cool, I'm ready for it. I'm going to put on my cute fit and I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And not be like, oh my goodness, I need to lose 5 to 10 pounds real quick, you know, in the next 2 weeks because I'm going to see so-and-so that I haven't seen. Like, just be ready for life so that even, you know, when we get to summer, you know, you start now during the holiday season, you're going to look so great when you get that boat invite or that pool invite. You're like, I'm ready. Let me throw on my bathing suit.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about it.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like thinking like what fits me in the closet. Like even me putting these pants on this morning, I was like, I'm going to try these pants. I know they've been tight in the past, but I'm still going to give them a try. And I put them on and they were so loose. And I'm like,
I love that.
There's no way. Like they've been tight for so long.
That's awesome.
That was like such a good feeling just to be able to like walk into your closet and put whatever you want on and not have to like do that whole like mental anguish. Like, will this or won't this fit?
Right.
So true. Yeah,
just
I love that. It takes all that anxiety out of it.
And then you're less like in your head and you're just able to live.
Sure.
You know, like you don't have to think, because I know women, we compare, we are in our head a lot about like what we want to wear and what we want to look like. But to take that out of life and just not have that type of anxiety hovering over you, It's so freeing.
That's awesome. I love that. It's so amazing.
It is.
What like are your tips if someone's going to go to a party? What are you doing before you're going to a party to make sure you're like staying on track and not getting pressured?
I love that. I think like the simplest thing you can do is just like set up your day and know that when you wake up that day, like have all your habits in place. Like, yeah, you should still take your walk. You should still drink your water. Like, I really plan ahead in a sense of making sure that I do prioritize me before going to the event. So just keeping it simple, getting your workout in, like not overwhelming yourself, and then honestly just go prepared. Like if you know that there's going to be tons of food, don't go hungry. Like you know, because then you're like binging and you're snacking, and it's not that you can't go and like obviously have some food there, but I think a lot of people will like, you know, they won't eat the entire day because they know they're going to a party. You're setting yourself up for failure. Like don't change much is what I would say. And just go. And as I always tell you, Gordi, like be intentional.
Yes.
You know, like slow down. I think we're so go, go, go. We get to the party, there's chips everywhere, and we're like, you know, like, why not? Go. Like, you know, but it's like if you just say, hey, do I even want some chips? And you're like, actually, I'm not that hungry. Yeah. You know, it's really just slowing down and being intentional. And, you know, I always say if you're intentional before you do something or go to an event, you're not going to have guilt because you're actually sitting with yourself. So that's a huge thing we like to teach. It's like, yes, you can have the crumble cookie. Yeah. But instead of just going to crumble and eating a bunch of the cookies, just slow down and say, do I really want this? Yep. And like, yes, I do. Cool. Then I'm going to have it. Or no, I'm not that hungry. I don't really want it.
I'm just doing it to do it.
Some people just do it to do it.
I set the intention before these conferences, legal conferences. I set the intention because we're in a cut not to do any alcohol. Yes. And I held to that because so many people were like, oh, you're not going to have alcohol. Oh, you're not. Oh, you're just going to have club soda. And it was so interesting to like watch it because it was almost like, without me judging them, obviously, I don't care, you know, if they drink or not, I do drink, but they were like, oh, you're not going to drink? And it was like, almost like they felt like I was judging them for drinking. And I'm like, no, like I'm doing this fitness thing and I'm trying to like, you know, be really good. Yeah. But it was weird how like it created some like ripple feelings amongst like the group. Like, oh, well, if you're not drinking, like, I don't know how you feel about me drinking. Like, go ahead, like, do go for it. Yeah. Yeah. But I just set that intention and I just really stuck with it versus like having to decide there and then get like the pressure and then like, oh, okay, fine. I'll have some drinks.
Yeah. You're like, I'll have one. But then you truly didn't want to do that. You know, it's like the pressure. But yeah, and I think it is cool. Like, I love that you committed to like, I'm not going to drink because that's just something that you stuck to. Yep. And it's cool when, you know, I'm able to watch you follow through with the goal. Like as your coach, it's like, she did that. Like proud of you. Like, you know, because it is hard. And like, you know, like I've told you, you can have drinks, you know, like you're in a lifestyle change. So it's okay if you made the decision, Gordi, to say, I'm going to have a few drinks tonight. That's cool. I'm proud of you either way because you set the intention. Sure. And that's the difference. People go into events and they just go crazy and they don't actually slow down. Like, do I really want this? And you're like, hey, I don't want to drink. You know? Yeah. So, like, setting the intention, staying true to it, whatever it is.
Right. I have logged my drinks before. You're like, oh, you were at a birthday party and you had 2 tequilas. I'm like, I intentionally planned for that. And I put that in my food log and that was there. And you're like, I love that you logged that. Right. Yeah. So whatever it is, just be intentional.
So true. Yes.
I love that. Talk to me a little bit about your social media. You guys have these awesome hauls that you do, these grocery hauls.
We love the grocery hauls. They're so fun.
I love them because like it gives you the idea of, again, you know, just what you should be buying at the grocery store, what's healthy, what meals you make with them. How do you guys come up with your content? Because it's so helpful.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. We have so much fun. Our grocery hauls, obviously, we're dancing. We're like shaking our booties and like showing the beef. You know, stuff. Yeah. The beef. The beef. But no, honestly, we just always go into planning the week by how can we help people. And what we found with grocery hauls is a lot of people don't know what to buy. They're like, I want to eat healthy, but what do I buy? So we're really just solving what we hear from our clients or people online, and we're taking action on creating the reel around it. So yeah, grocery hauls, we actually just did a like, you know, clean ingredients versus not so clean, where we compared 2 brands, like, you know, hey, try to buy this one instead. Sure. And again, we're not perfect. Like, we enjoy life. We go out, we do things. But we just want to educate and help people see the more holistic side of health too, and know that like, you know, 2 products can be similar, but one is going to have cleaner ingredients, which is obviously going to help with your health. So
Sure.
no, I think honestly, Gordy, like my content, I just decided one day, this was like years ago, I'm like, I just am here to help people and like use my voice. So even like my car rants and my chats.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. I'm always like
yes,
heart.
I feel like, it's like something that I'm passionate about. I sit in my car and I just tell it like it is. These are my thoughts, these are my feelings, and I feel like it's relatable.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I enjoy content. It's fun.
It's so authentic, and it comes off so authentic and helpful and relatable. And I just love that. And you really build a community with it.
Yeah.
And talk about that, like how you're building your community, because you just had a retreat.
Yes.
And people from all over the country came last week for the retreat, and it was an amazing turnout. And it was I was there, and it was such a community vibe that I got from all these women.
Yeah. I love my community so much. Like, I feel like everyone that's on the team really aligns. And I think that is a ripple effect of just showing up as myself online. But no, our community is amazing. We actually have a team of 10. And then, with our clients, everyone feels so connected. Like, even with the coaches that are on the team, like they're in the group chat, you're able to meet them. Like, they were at the retreat, and like everyone comes together. And what I think is so beautiful is all the women that are on the team are, really wanting to learn the lifestyle, and they're really on board with each other. I mean, our community, I can't even tell you how wonderful it's been to like see it just continue to grow, because even with like, when things happen in life, even with the, craziness of, gosh, like when the hurricane hit months ago, like that's a great example. Like, women were in the group chat, like, who needs water, who needs help, like, and
so nice.
That's such a beautiful thing to have women that really support you in goals, but also in life. Like, so to see everyone come together for the retreat, and everyone flew out from different states. We even have a coach that came in from Canada.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just amazing. And then, a lot of women, that's the first time they've met people in person, and they've been talking in the group chat, and it's just amazing to see.
They feel like they know each other, and they like build a sisterhood.
Easy. Yeah,
that's
really
amazing.
Is a sisterhood. That's the best way to explain it, because like I just feel like everyone on our team feels like they are so supported and cared about, and that is something that like I will never take for granted, because like I don't know, I even share on my social media, I've always had just a hard time connecting with people and like friendships, like even years ago, I've had some like really just harsh things happen to me where like friends were just so cruel, and I'm like, I would never do that to someone. And now I've built such a community where I'm like, I could call any one of my clients and say, hey, like, I just know that they'd be there for me. And I think that's what's so beautiful too. Like,
that's awesome. I love that. I felt that definitely, the energy in the room. Everyone just seemed like, they were happy to meet with each other. They'd been talking for however long, but they felt like they knew one another because they've been on the platform together through your community that you've built, and like just really trying to cheer everyone on. And everyone was just like vulnerable. Like, we shared a lot of like real personal stories and like struggles. And I loved that. Like, just everyone being open and like wanting to share.
Open, honest. And I think, again, it is the ripple effect, because my core value is raw honesty. And I feel like with me showing up as my honest self, it does create a safe place, where people can just speak. And oh my gosh, you saw a lot of people were just sharing where they're at in their life and their hardships. And, we're all human. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to be able to lean on so many women that, again, are just in alignment with you and your goals. And, everyone truly is in alignment and like there to help each other out.
Yeah, I definitely felt that for sure. Like, I came from another event and you guys were doing like an exercise, and I was like, oh, this is like real. Like, we're okay. Like, I had to like get into that mindset. But because you're like so open and you're so honest, and raw honesty, like you said, I felt like, oh yeah, like I feel very comfortable to like share whatever like trials and tribulations I've undergone and like face and like share it with the group, and like felt like I was able to get to know people so fast.
Right. You just jumped in, and because even you came from a conference and you immediately jumped in, and everyone's like, hey, Gordi.
I know. It was just so inviting and so nice, and just like a safe space, like you said. I love that.
That's the coolest part. And I feel like that's what makes us truly different, is we're not just diet and workouts. Like, we really care. And
it's the mental part of it that goes along with it, that also is like a part of the teachings.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So important.
Yeah. I feel like without mental, like any coach can hand you workouts or,
Sure.
but we really are a team that like holds you accountable and like dives into the mental piece, because we believe if you don't heal the mental side, you're never going to be able to get to the lifestyle change. You just won't. Like, you could track macros, you could go do your workouts, but if you're not actually like rewiring your thought process on how you speak to yourself, your habits, your routines, like relationship with food, mindset shifts, like you're going to keep falling back into your old ways, because we want to be comfortable as humans, right? Like we want to go back to what we've always known, and like even when we start to evolve, that past self wants to like pull us back. It's like, oh no, you're fine, like, like because we get uncomfortable, and it does feel different, like, oh, I am this person that eats healthy and I can do this. So our past self wants to creep up, so that's why we're there with the mental accountability and like diving into like identity shifts, like how to step into your power, how to really get to that other side so that you can do it forever.
Yeah, so we don't sabotage ourselves.
Right. Oh, yeah, self-sabotage is a real thing.
For sure.
A lot in the journey. And it's important to have the accountability of like holding you to that higher standard and reminding you why, like why you want this. Like you can do hard things. Like let's work through it. And like that's what's so beautiful about our team, I feel like, the mental accountability.
I love that. I definitely feel that in being on this journey with you. So thank you for that.
Of course.
I also, like, with your raw honesty, you have posted on social media before where you're like, I get approached by all these different products, or people want me to talk about different things and like back it, and you reject it if it doesn't align, like you said, your alignment, if it doesn't align with what your raw honesty is. Talk about that.
Yeah, I have been offered a lot of brand deals with like growing my following, and I refuse to take money just to promote something that I don't feel really passionate about. And I mean, when you get offered thousands of dollars, I know people that would take the deal, right? And it's a lot of money. Like I got offered $10,000 to make one post. And I could have easily said, yeah, it's one post, it's fine. But it truly was not in alignment with my values and what I stand for. So I told them no. And there's been other, different products that I don't agree with the ingredients. And I don't care how big of a company it is. Like this company is big. And, I looked at the ingredients and I was like, I would never promote that, because people trust me. And like, I don't want to ever put someone in a situation where they're spending their money on something that isn't going to truly help them. Like that's what it comes back to. I know that people trust my word. And if I have them buy a product for, even if it's $10-15, like that's my word they're taking. And, I don't want them spending their money on that stuff. So I've turned down a lot of brand deals.
I love that, because I would have bought it. If you said like,
I would have bought it.
I would have bought it. I'd be like, she said.
It's trust.
It's trust. Really, I respect that so much. Because people usually, a lot of social media is like a lot of smoke and mirrors, and you don't know if the person's really using that product or if they're just selling it. And like, I love that you spoke out about it on your page, and you're like, girlies,
listen up.
I got approached by this company and I'm not doing it, and don't buy the product. And this is why. And I was like, oh, okay, like I'm going to take that off my shopping list.
Yeah, it's true. It's like so true. But no, I even posted it in our group chat to just show clients. I was like, hey, this is why I'm not in alignment with this brand. Because we actually had a client. It was so crazy how it all like lined up. She posted, she's like, has anyone tried this product? And I said, I actually just got approached by them, but let me explain the ingredient label to you. So I made a video just explaining, not bashing the company by any means, but I'm like, this is why you shouldn't buy it. And like, here's the facts. And there's so much money that's put behind influencers and marketing, especially for this company. So she's like, I thought it was great because so-and-so uses it and so-and-so. And I'm not saying that, maybe an influencer does really like the brand and likes the product, but a lot of people are not informed on what's truly in the product. So I just was explaining this is why, and she really appreciated that. She's like, wow, like, thanks for the education around the label. Right?
That was really informative and insightful and like honorable. I respect and admire that.
Thank you. Yeah. It's crazy, the influencer world. Like people, I just always put my values and my integrity first. And I do know that people trust my word. And that's the one thing where I'm like, I would never make someone do that, because I've been there. I've bought skinny teas and shakes because I thought it would change my life. And I spent oh my gosh, with all the dieting I've done, probably thousands of dollars on stuff that I didn't need because influencers or, you know, someone told me, oh, it works. But if I would have known or looked at the label or, you know, just it comes down to education too. Like I said,
no, for sure. The trust. It's really, you value the trust that you've built in your community and like respect it and you take it through and you're not tempted by any kind of monetary gain or follower gain. And like, that's awesome because that's not the community all the time on Instagram or on social media or whatever platform it is. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, kudos to you.
Thank
not
you.
buying it.
Don't buy it.
Not buying it.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah. What are some of your future plans for your company? Optimize. Yeah, I've got your merch here.
I love it. No, I love those. They turned out great. I'm like very proud.
I know.
of those.
I love them.
I know they're so
good
clean and like sleek and like I love it. But no, I mean, like I said, we're a team of 10. So, you know, I have a staff of coaches and assistants and some help with sales and stuff like that. So like we really have grown. I honestly just want to continue to grow and impact lives. We are a team that, again, literally everything goes back to in alignment. So we really want to work with women that truly want the lifestyle. You know, when I talk to women that are like, hey, I want to hire a coach, and they tell me I want to lose, 30 pounds in a week, I'm like, we're not the right team, right? Like, I'm not here to just have you lose the weight quick and then you're going to gain it back. So we really, want to bring in women that are like you, like-minded, where you really want to learn the lifestyle. You want to focus on your metabolism. You want to really see this through as like the last time you lose the weight.
Yes.
The last time. So we want to continue to grow and bring in women that really do want that for themselves and want to learn. But I have no plans on stopping because I want to change so many lives. And that's always been a goal of mine. I remember the day I quit my corporate job, I was like, if I could just change one life, like I'm going to be so proud of myself. And now, we've worked with thousands of women.
That's awesome. And look at how many lives you've changed and you continue to change. The sky's the limit.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
We're going to keep growing.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited to see your journey and what's coming in 2025.
Yes.
Let's do some rapid fire questions.
Perfect.
Tell me, if you had to do a cheat meal or you're going to do a cheat meal, what's your cheat meal going to be?
Honestly, I feel like I would do Thai food.
Okay.
Like a bunch of pad Thai, like noodles, and like I honestly love protein, so I'd put like chicken and beef and just a big noodle pad Thai dish.
That sounds delicious. And what is a favorite workout that you like to do? Like, what's your go-to?
Leg days. So I would say, honestly, I used to really not like hip thrusts. I've been loving a heavy hip thrust.
Okay. And what's your least favorite exercise where you're like, oh, God, I don't want to do this?
I never train chest.
Okay.
Like any chest press or I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I know. The upper body, I was just saying that yesterday. I'm like, I don't mind being sore on the legs, but like the upper body's like, I don't love that.
I do like a back day though.
Okay, awesome.
Back day is one of my faves next to leg day, but
awesome. That's good to know. What is like your favorite activity to do? Like, what do you like to do for fun?
Honestly, I am such a foodie and I love traveling.
Okay.
Like, I am always down to try new restaurants and just try new things, which, again, live the lifestyle. Like, I'm really into fitness, but I love food and traveling. I mean, I will go anywhere. I just want to see new things and meet new people and just experience life.
Yeah, and you just came off of a fabulous trip. Talk about
that. Yeah, my boyfriend Josh and I, we went to Europe. So we hit Spain and then Italy, and then we ended in Amsterdam. It was so fun.
And you guys were eating all the things and trying all the things.
Yeah, and like we vlog it. Like, I love that. I'm actually posting that video like soon-ish. But yeah, no, we're travel people, foodies, fitness, all of it.
Yeah, you really captured that. And you guys like hit the gym too. Like I know you guys found some gyms too. You're like, it's really hard to get a lot of protein here.
Oh, it's so hard in Europe. Yeah. They don't have a lot of gyms. They don't have a lot of protein.
Sure.
Like bring your protein powder.
Yeah. And why do you think they're relatively more fit, I think.
Yeah, they're healthy.
Than Americans are, Western world is. Why do you think that is, that now that you've been there and visited?
The quality of food.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I mean, I out here in America, I'm not able to really eat dairy. My body doesn't work with it. Sure. There, I was having dairy every morning. It really is the big difference of quality of food. That's a whole other podcast episode.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be on your podcast when you debut your podcast.
Yes,
which
100%
would be awesome.
We'll get there.
I would tune in for sure.
I love it.
How could people find you?
So on Instagram and TikTok, actually, Dylan J Fit, and then Facebook, Dylan Hornof.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights. Thank you for coaching me. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge to our viewers and listeners and helping people, helping me. Yes. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be your coach.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you are my coach.
I love it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for tuning in to Talk Legal to Me. Remember, you can listen to us everywhere you get your podcasts, including Spotify and Apple. And if you want to watch along, visit my YouTube channel at Lawyer Gordi. Until next time, stay informed, stay legal, and stay fabulous, besties.